Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 5 of Overly Misguided. I'm crazy. Oh, I am crazy. It's crazy to say that this is our 5th episode. Like, round of applause. Yes.
It's a milestone at this point.
Right? I got my amazing producer back there. I got Vinci back on the podcast. Glad to see you guys. Glad you're here.
Glad to be back.
So, yesterday was my birthday. I turned 23, and I'm excited that, I've made it to 23. A lot of people can't say that. Like, I got to be grateful and thankful that I'm here and I'm speaking, I'm healthy, and I'm pursuing what I want to pursue. Like,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jordan year. That's the Jordan year for sure.
Exactly. So, yesterday I wrote myself a letter to myself to open next year my birthday, and I wrote a bunch of goals and like things I want to accomplish, and I wrote down how I was feeling in the moment and kind of, what had happened in that year. And I'm just like, I feel like I like released it. And like I put it out there, and I'm like, I feel so much better, and I'm so excited that I was able to do that on that day and like set that goal for myself. And like I have to look forward to that next year to see like, hey, where am I at? Did I hit those goals? What's going on? And yeah, I'm in a good mood.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
I fuck with that.
So the first topic I just kind of wanted to jump on is our missing person cases, especially when it comes to Black people in this country. Like, our numbers are extremely high. And it's a scary thing when you see that a lot of the stories are pretty similar when it comes to when they find these bodies and a lot of the organs are missing. Or stuff with newspaper, like the Kendrick Johnson case. I don't know if you guys heard about that case before. Kendrick Johnson? You've never heard of that case?
No. I don't think so.
So look, boom, I'm gonna tell you this.
Exactly.
So this missing people case has been going on for quite some time, and I think we touched bases on this off camera recently, but I don't watch the news. Like, it's so much that goes on in the news that like it's too overwhelming, and I've noticed that like my life has been a little bit more positive ever since I haven't been watching the news. So a lot of the topics or a lot of the things that's going on in the world I either get from social media, but I'm able to limit how much information I get, whether or not I want to be indulged in that or not. But ever since the, I feel like I'm about to butcher her name, but I think it was in, you know what I'm talking about?
Chicago?
Yeah.
Remember the girl who, I can't remember.
The hotel ordeal.
Yeah.
They got drunk.
And she went into
I know who you're talking about, and then her
I can't even think of her name.
her organs were missing.
Exactly. Yeah. But ever since then, I knew, okay, yeah, something's going on with this. Black people specifically missing, and then organs end up missing, once the body is found ordeal. So ever since that situation, I was like, yeah, this is it's interesting for sure.
It's a real life Get Out type of situation. Like, since the beginning of time, Black people have been treated a certain way. Our bodies have been exhumed from the ground, the mummies, and eaten by Europeans for some sort of spiritual cleansing. And in the movie Get Out, they take the body parts, they take the brain, the consciousness, and put it into someone else's body, but in a Black body. Like, the symbolism behind that, if you're not picking that up,
wake up.
You need to really see what's actually going on here. Like, for us to find so many missing Black bodies without their organs or without even their uterus is missing. Yeah. And it's like, who are these body parts going to? And for what reason? And why are specific Black people being targeted?
Yeah.
It's definitely scary, for sure. Just off the fact of you can't even enjoy life. Like, just the situation. She was at a party, at a hotel party, and boom, drunk night. Now you in a hotel freezer. It's like, okay, that's odd, but it's been numerous times we've been out. We go out. We have our fun time. It's like, dang, can this be a situation where we end up missing? Like, and for me specifically, like, I work for Amazon, doing the delivery driving and everything like that. So I be in these white-ass neighborhoods, like, in far land, with these dirt roads and all this stuff. And now that, wintertime is approaching, it get darker later or earlier than how it is now. It's like, I mean, I definitely have that, thought process in the back of my mind. Like, okay.
Like, you have to as a Black person. You always feel like you got to watch your back because it's like we're constantly being targeted. So it's like, I'm not really safe anywhere but my home. And even then, I'm not actually safe because at any time of the day, I could be accused of this crime and thrown up and locked in jail, thrown away, the key thrown away. Like,
this stuff really confuses me because they despise of us in so many different ways. Like, they don't really rock with us, but they want to be us. And I guess the more we go into this conversation, I'll elaborate on that. But it's just so nasty. It's so nasty. And it's unfortunate, you know, that's why we have to stay prayed up. But then again, it's like, why us? Y'all, for one, tried to take our land, and what y'all did. And then now y'all want what we was born with? Like, I can't even think of taking somebody's brain. Like, that's just weird. Like,
extremely. Like it's the entitlement for me. Like, why do you feel like you're entitled to my body parts?
Like, Shay, yeah, I want to take your brain, and I'm gonna put it in somebody else's. Like, what?
Like, that
don't even sound right coming off somebody's
Who comes up
tongue.
with this type of stuff? I'm like, it's just it's like I feel like it's an ownership type thing. Yep. That's like ingrained in some of these people, like that, because that's what happened in history. Their ancestors owned our ancestors, so it's like. That blood, your ancestors' blood is in you. My ancestors' blood is in me. We are our ancestors. And I hate how people like, oh, it was so long ago, it was so long ago in the past. I'm like, we are descendants from those people. We carry their DNA. And we know it's scientifically proven that trauma can be passed down through DNA. So what do you think that makes us? We are made up of all that trauma, and it takes us to heal all that type of stuff. Yep. Like, I don't think people understand that. Like, it goes deep. And a lot of people aren't ready for those types of conversations.
Yeah, that's really deep. Especially, like, we had went on a trip, me, Jay, and my family. In a group conversation, my brother had mentioned, like, it's really possible for a parent to pass down their traumas to their child. So now that you're saying ancestors, just imagine all those people that this one thing, and we say trauma, but it's really just generational, they say curses. And it's just like really messed up. And it's like now we have to, as 23, I'm 22, have to deal with that and have to carry that and like figure it out. Like, how do I get rid of something that I don't even know I even have?
Exactly.
Like, how do I can't even tell you what it is. I just know it makes me cry and upset. So, you know, it's just interesting. I don't know. I've never been able to put my finger on that.
And that's why I say it's so hard to explain your plight as a black person, because you can explain it to your blue in the face, but it's like until you've walked my walk, until you've like been in my literal shoes and seen my experience through this world, you don't have a right to tell me how I should feel as a black person in America. Yep. You have absolutely no right.
Yeah. Or you can't tell me how much money I can make, but you're giving this white man 17, but you told me I can only make 15. You know, that too. It's so much. And it's like, I wonder, when is it going to stop? I actually was having a conversation with one of my friends on Saturday, and we were saying, like, what if one year they raised the dollar of the minorities and lower the dollar of the whites? And then we thought about it, like, that probably will never happen because then we'll be equal.
Exactly.
And they don't want to be equal. They want to have some type of entitlement, like we said, or some type of power. But my thing is, why you don't just want to have power over what you have? Like, why do you have to have power over what someone else's have? Like,
exactly.
That's just, you know, they're like masterminds, Robert. Like, you know, they I don't know. It's just
there's still family, because think about it. I know cotton, tobacco, sugarcane, all that stuff back then was worth, at that time, millions of dollars. Since now in today's dollar, that is now trillions and trillions of dollars that the U.S. controlled. The U.S. was built off all that. If you didn't know that, that's how the U.S. got built, off the backs of our ancestors. That's truth right there. There are still families who are rich off that money. I don't think people understand that. There are white families that live in America that are still rich off the unfortunate trauma and the awful shit that was done to our ancestors.
That shit is sick.
That money still generates.
To this day, yeah, it's wild.
That is crazy. You would think, like, after, like, you reach the 1900s and the 2000s that eventually the money would cut off, but I guess it was just, like, a long-term investment. And that's just so really fucked up. Like,
a lot of these companies, like, I learned Wells Fargo used to hold slaves as money.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that? If you bank at Wells Fargo, you don't...
Right.
Yeah, right.
I never thought of that.
Your own money.
Wow, I'm learning something, y'all. Look, I'm over here like for real.
The stuff that I read, I get is crazy, and what makes me upset is like I try to explain this to some white people, and it's like they think I'm trying to be mean or racist or try to make them feel bad. I'm like, no, I'm teaching you what you've never been told before, because that's why they're trying to get rid of critical race theory in schools, because they don't want the truth about the awful nasty that your granddaddy and grandma did to our people. They want to boil slavery down to, they were people who worked for free and we didn't beat them or anything. We just, slapped them on the hand when they got out of line. No, you ripped them limb from limb.
Yeah, literally.
There was a lot of wild shit that I've heard that, that slave masters used to do just to, not even on a sense of physical, but mental, just degrade the black man and degrade, especially in front of like their kids, just so they can have the image of, okay, this person is reigning over me.
Mm-hmm. So like they take that dominance.
Yeah,
like when they have buck breaking camps.
Yeah, like that shit was wild, and they'll do it in front of their family just so they can know, hey, I'm running this shit. Right. And it's like, down, like just that low of thought process that they had for us. But now in today's society, it's like, oh my goodness, we low key cherish you guys. It's just we don't know how to tell you guys.
Yeah, it's like
like it's so wild to me. And exactly. I remember like growing up, once I moved out to like West Bloomfield and stuff like that, and I was in the suburbs, I really like would wonder, like it would kind of, not even the sense of I wanted to be white for a day, but it was more so, what in the 24 hours of a white person, like what do they do? Like how does they, like, for me, I know, like, as a black man, kind of like my life is kind of lit. Like I can going over friends' house or whatever, like I enjoy my 24 hours, but like what do they do? Like I don't know. I've always been
like, what is their walk through life?
Yeah, like okay, I wake up, I shower. Do I use a rag? Do I don't use a rag?
Yo, there was a whole TikTok debate about that, like how they were saying like white people didn't use rag, they just use like a bar of soap, and I was like,
they do. They don't use rags.
From the moment we came out our mother's room, our moms used rags on us to clean us.
You feel me? Like just a lot of stuff. Like for me, I would go to the gas station. I would get an Arizona tea. They'll probably, the first thing they got to do is get a Starbucks coffee or something. Like, what is a day in the life for them? What do they watch? Like, what is certain things like that. I was just very intrigued to know, just so I can. I mean, I knew that I enjoy my life, but I was also curious to know, just like how they're curious to know what we're doing. But in the same token, it's like, okay, are y'all lives boring, or like what makes y'all so intrigued with what we're doing to the fact that you guys want to?
We just got the flavor over here.
I guess so, sauce. But it's just crazy. It's like
the sauce is in us.
They can't. The fact that they can't admit that, or they can't. It's like they don't feel
pride.
Like, yeah, the pride is just crazy to me.
Yeah,
I mean. Wait, pride in what?
Their pride, like,
their pride.
Sorry,
period. It's crazy, just like how they feel towards us. It's wild. It's wild.
I don't understand that. Like, I can okay, so like, I saw this thing on Twitter. It was like saying how like you have white people and then you have white people that are white people.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. There's those white people who obviously aren't racist and understand what's going on, and then you have those racist white people who are like, they just hate black people for no reason, like because what's the reason?
It's like a Karen and a Brittany. Like, Brittany is so sweet, welcoming, and then Karen is like, fuck you, like,
no, literally,
you're in my parking spot, like, what, we're at Target.
You're like, you cut me in line, like, what are you lying for?
Yeah, so definitely.
Oh God, we just got way off topic. That was good though. Something that I wanted to talk about was self-care. I don't know why I got not so far away. So for me, self-care is like my skin and my hair and like what I wear and stuff like that. And I learned that with, taking care of yourself, you're more confident, you look more beautiful, you're glowing, like you're just you're in yourself. And I just wanted to go over like some questions I kind of ask myself, like when I'm in those moments where I'm trying to be more conscious and like be in the moment. How do I feel in this moment? What do I crave in life? What makes me the happiest? What are some positive things in my life? What am I thankful for? What brought me joy today? What am I putting off? And what's making me feel down? So I kind of try to go over those things to like see where I'm at, I guess. So what are some questions that I feel like you guys like, things that you kind of try to keep up with yourself on, like when it comes to like self-care or just questioning yourself as a person, trying to get to know yourself better?
Okay. I'll say somebody who sees something in me that I don't see in myself. So I'll say stuff like, what do they see in you that you don't see in yourself? Because not gonna lie, like I've been battling some real like things and emotionally, and it's just random as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to keep saying that today. I woke up this morning. What do they see? Or I said, God, like what do God see in me that I don't see in myself? And me like analyzing my brain, analyzing like my thoughts, analyzing, my subconscious thoughts. That's a part of my self-care because I'm able to understand like, okay, this is what's going on. Okay, I have to do this to get there. I have to, like me, with all of that, I even like to light a candle. That's a part of my self-care. Just sit there. Like I like complete silence sometimes. Like just sit there, just soak up the energy in a room. Like, if it's good energy, soak it up. If it's bad energy, try to push it out. And as far as some more questions, I got to keep thinking about that.
I like that. Yeah. Especially with like being conscious of like the energy in a room, because that can definitely affect you. I'm kind of the same way. I try not to let other people's energies affect me, but sometimes it's hard not to care. And I feel like that's something I've definitely worked on for a long time, is not caring. Like I really don't care what people think or say about me, but there's always that voice in the back of your head that tries to get you to like analyze that part. And it's like, no, because at the end of the day, you're still you. And it doesn't matter how someone else perceives or takes you, because you know you at the end of the day.
Yep, exactly.
So no one can come in and dictate who you are in that moment.
Right. No matter what you're going through, like, we all go through shit. So, I mean.
No, literally, like.
I swear I want to share some examples, but I don't know, we'll see.
Mr. Producer, what about you?
I feel like for me, self-care comes into play. Now that I've reached a certain bracket in my life. I've been saying this for a minute. Vincia can definitely testify to this, but now that I've reached a certain bracket in my life, I feel like them days that I have, like them off days or whatever, I tend to not do shit, and that's kind of like my self-care, just because it gives me, like, before, days that I had, like, free time and shit like that, I would probably have it set up or schedule what I'm going to do, but where I'm at in life, I kind of just go with the flow, and I've noticed that life has kind of been better that way, just because I'm so structured. I have to be structured just to take care of business nowadays. So the days or the times that I'm more lenient to do me. I kind of just let the day go by, just because my mind is always, okay, at this day from this time I'm doing this, and afterwards I got to do boom, 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 or whatever. I got to pay this bill at this day, and it's like that can be overwhelming. At the end of the day, but it's also a part of growing up. It's part of the adulthood. But also, me and D we both been talking about how we want to better ourselves. Not just for the relationship, but just for each other. like she said, I always tell her I see something in her. I see, the potential in the lifelong, future that we want to accomplish together. So seeing from the outside looking in, or having that person from the outside looking in to tell you, not even trying to change you, but just to tell you, hey, I can see the progress, or I can see where you're going, or where you're trying to go, and trying to help that person out is definitely another thing that's well needed. Even though it's called self-care, it's cool to hear the acknowledgement, or hear from other people that they see the growth in you. But you also have to set certain standards, and set, certain things that you want to accomplish, and try to reach those goals just for you as a person. Mm-hmm. So the more older I get, the more I'm realizing shit, man. And it's crazy, because it's like, I remember hearing, these lessons from our parents growing up, and it's like, yeah, I hear you. You don't get it. It's not, you're not part of this generation, so things change. But it's like, even though it's true, like, it could be the same game, just different players, basically, at the end of the day. So a lot of things that, become reality in my life, I've already heard those lessons, but it's something different when you actually witness it firsthand. It's like, okay, now I know how to move. So that I think just the self-care aspect of, just, for me, is just letting life take its course. Like, if you know what's in your best interest, and you believe in, once again, faith, have that faith in whatever you believe in. But for me, having that faith in God that He got it, boom, you straight. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just me.
100%. 100%. And I think it's good for you guys as a couple that y'all communicate that type of stuff to each other, because I feel like in our generation, that's very rare. It's hard to find two people that are smart. They can come together, have that conversation, know that they're both healing or going through whatever they're going to, but they're doing it together because they want something together and they see a good outcome. And it's like, a lot of people nowadays just playing games. Yeah. Like, what are you playing games for me for?
All day.
Like,
all day.
Right. Ooh, I don't even want to get into that.
Right. We on self-care right now. We talking about positive.
Exactly. But back to, like, self-care. I literally just said that. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. That's okay. But I just want to talk about, like, the trauma aspect of self-care, because, like, it is hard to talk about those things, or, like, what you've been through, and heal from it. Because in order to do that, you have to feel it. Like, you have to relive that memory almost, and put yourself back in that position to understand every perspective, I guess. Anyway, it could have turned out differently, or it could, understanding that the way it is the way it is, and that happened. And you have to move on. You have to. For yourself, not for anyone else, but for you first. And then I think forgiving other people comes after that. But it's for you, and understanding what happened to you, or what situation you were in. And understanding your perspective first. Everyone else comes last. It's all about you first, because at the end of the day, all you really have is you. When you wake up, go to sleep, it's you. You're all alone in your head by yourself. Unless you're schizophrenic. Then you got a few others in there too. I'm sorry.
Right, different story then.
I can't.
But no, in all honesty, the trauma aspect of certain situations, I feel like, I don't know. There's things, okay, boom, prime example. Me and D might have some type of disagreement on something or whatever, and we going back and forth about something. There's been times where I would, draw away from the conversation, reflect on how I feel. And there's been times where I tell her, like, okay, I feel like this because it stems from these past situations. And I feel like having conversations like that, because, I mean, I've known D since we've been in middle school. So we got history. This is my homie. This my little mini me. At this point,
he wanted.
But you feel me? There was time away from each other. I went off to college, and she was doing her type, So to come back and into each other's lives, I mean, we was always communicating, but to be back, like, serious again, it's like, okay, our absence, there's been these things that's been going on. So it's not even a situation of like we sit down and just talk about everything, but there's been times where a situation would occur and it's like, okay, she'll probably go from 0 to 100 real quick, as opposed to me, I'm probably laid back about the conversation. So I'm confused of her energy, but then afterwards we'll come together and we'll, okay, this stemmed from boom, boom, boom. So now moving forward, I know not to say certain things, or I know not to do certain things because it might trigger her from past issues. It's not even me personally. It's just overwhelmed of situations that was going on in the past. So that's another thing, part of maturity, I feel like, for me, like realizing certain things, like, okay, not everything is because of you. There's things that go on in people's lives that make them who they are. So
Facts.
you have to understand that, and if you really rock with a person, you have to support and understand what's going on with them and move accordingly. So I feel like that's just a part of maturity, especially if you're doing it with someone. If you're bonding with someone and that's the thing that y'all doing, you gotta understand all around the board with that person. So
You have to. I mean, that's all a part of like being in a cohesive relationship is understanding the other person, understanding their plight. They're going through something, you're gonna be going through something
Right.
because that's your partner. You're gonna have their back regardless,
Right.
And then
Right.
that's good.
So I want to touch on a little bit of what you said with the trauma and the self-care. So honestly, me speaking for me, and this is just my personal side, when it comes to reliving traumatic situations or a period of time that I just didn't like in life, that has always been so hard for me. Oh my God. Because for one, I'm a Pisces. I'm extremely emotional. So right when I think of the first thing, it's like tears from there. Like it's not even, I can't think of nothing else. It's literally just like miserable. But now that I feel like I'm taking, my relationship pretty serious, and he is as well. So I feel like now I'm like, okay, I have to change. I can't keep holding on this baggage. It's like it's dead weight, and it's kind of like if I keep holding on to it, I'm gonna be the same 22-year-old when I'm 40, and I don't want to be that.
Yep.
I want to take what I went through, analyze it, remember what happened, so that next time it won't happen again, or so that I can teach my daughter that. I want to be able to say, like, look, okay, you're going through this. I can already tell her this is how you get through it. Like, before it even happens, this is how you handle it.
Yes.
Because, it's just like, I don't know. I just know that has been a really hard thing for me. Like, and that's probably why I probably held on to so many things in life, is because it's like, I hate remembering old stuff. I hate thinking about it. It's like when it's over with, I put it deep down in that subconscious and I'm like, okay, it's over with. And then when something or a song or, like anything trigger you, somebody can just say, hey, the wrong way. Like, the fuck you mean?
No, I'm telling you, to this day, I'll get like a whiff of something and it smells like somebody and I just get angry. It's like I'm over it, but like I still have those very small triggers and I'm like, ooh.
Yep. Yeah.
that's the thing.
It takes time. Time is of the essence.
Yes.
And
so I think that's what part of being like an adult and growing up is like you have to move on from your trauma. You can't hold on to it because then you project it onto other people.
Yep.
And nobody's gonna want to be around you if you're like projecting and like you're just this little angry, bitter 40-year-old. Because I feel like we have a lot of bitter adults running around here.
Yeah.
Just angry and just miserable with their own lives, so they start stuff with other people. So it's like,
And that's the worst thing. I feel like you can't be in a relationship when it's one person that feels, mighty and grand about themselves, and then the other person don't. Like you can't unless you see that person, you see the growth in that person, you want to help that person with that. But like it's not gonna work because if you have this one type of energy going on, right? It's positive, it's boom, boom. And then the other person has this down negative energy, boom, boom. That's gonna eventually somebody gonna be drained. Somebody gonna have something where now their energy is drained because either they had to compensate for, the other person or vice versa. So I feel like y'all both have to be there. Y'all both have to see the vision for it to work out. If it's not there across the board for both of y'all, it's not gonna work.
It's a no-go.
It can't. It just can't.
That's a hell no across the board.
No-go.
So something, I don't know, this just popped into my head and I really wanted to talk about this, is ghosting. So I want to talk about it. I want to know you guys' ghosting stories. Have you ever ghosted someone? Like, let's say you went on like a date and you thought it was going to be all that and it's like, never talk to this person again. Yeah. Or it's like you have like a situationship and you just like dip. You just block them.
I'll let D go first. Mine's don't be that crazy, but I feel like for her it's probably more intense.
Shoot. Okay, well, I actually was in a relationship for about a year, I think. I don't know. I was young. Anyways, I was in a relationship, and it was cool. And then, like, I started to notice weird, really, really, really weird stuff going on, like, weird stuff. And then I ended up getting messages from exes, like, oh, he's still bae, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And exes. I'm like, okay, all right, bet. So I'm playing my role, just, oh, hey, babe, like, I'm playing saying stupid. Nothing. So stupid. Like, and I was already young, so he probably just thought I was just so naive, whatever. He was an older guy, whatever. So he ended up going to jail. And when guys go to jail, who they gonna call first? Not they mama, because she ain't got shit for them. Mm-hmm. They gonna call their girlfriend. So he called me, and I probably talked to him for probably the first 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I'm like, is you trying to yell at me from a jail cell, boy? That was literally the icing on the cake. I definitely do not deal with him. I have not dealt with him, had heard from him, seen him. I don't even know family doing. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But yeah, that shit. And I think actually when he did get out, he did try to reach out to me through his mom. Yeah. So now it's kind of funny.
Nigga behavior.
Right. No, and he was. Probably still is. But anyways, but no, it's just so funny to me. Like, I don't know. I think people just think that you're obligated to keep them in your life. And just because we shared a time or we shared love or whatever, it was kitty love. Now I look back at it. But it's kind of like we shared something, okay, and like it's over
and
with.
Move on. Like, I dated a little jailbird before.
Never. So what's y'all experience with that? Like,
see, he don't want to go.
I never dealt with somebody from the jail cell. So like, I know for females it's probably more easier. But
well, I was 18. He was 26. I was dumb as fuck.
Look, oh my gosh, I was 18 too. That shit so crazy.
That's just a period in your life.
24.
Okay.
See, it's some older. It's because they know you're easy to manipulate. You're naive. You just like I literally like just turned 18.
Okay, yeah.
And I knew he like did like little stuff on the side or whatever, but I knew he didn't have like a real job. But I was going over to his place at the time. He had a roommate. We was doing stuff, blah blah blah. Like I thought I was grown.
Right.
Like, I really did.
Right. He giving you shots. You like hell yeah.
Like, this man got alcohol over here. He got weed over here. Like, okay, shit.
He throwing you $20.
Like, all right, it's cool. All right, along. And then he like lost his car or whatever. And then he tried to get me to get a car in his name. I was like,
in your name?
Yeah, I was like, like I wasn't stupid enough to do that because my parents would have killed me.
Oh my God.
He was trying to mess up everything. He would have messed up my my credit, like a whole bunch of shit. I was like, oh hell no, I'm not doing that. And then he like disappeared for a week. I was like, where the fuck is this nigga at? So something told me to check like Oakland County like jail, like whatever. Look at this nigga's name.
Oh my God.
He is locked up.
Yes.
Wait, what you mean? Something told you to check?
Because I was just like,
oh my God.
That's funny.
It's because I thought he ghosted me. I was like, what the fuck? But I was like, I really thought he was dead. Like I was looking at his Facebook. I was like, man, he wasn't answering anything. Nothing. I was like, he's either dead or in jail.
Yeah,
he was in jail.
Yeah. No, look, I left this man a message, and I was like, you better be dead or in jail. Mm-hmm. Looked on Macomb County.
Yep, in jail. What the fuck? Because I was like, his roommate ended up like texting me because like. His roommate didn't text me telling me what the fuck's going on, blah, blah, blah. I wrote this man a letter. I sent him a picture of me in the letter. Like, I was really doing too much. I was like, my bae in jail, blah,
Yep.
blah. I gotta run shit.
Wait, did you buy him some commissary?
No, I didn't buy him any commissary.
Oh, yeah.
I just gave him a picture and I wrote him a letter. But yeah, he got out. We hung out for like a week after he got out, and then he ghosted me.
Dang.
Yep. Did he have like a baby mama or something?
I didn't know if he had kids or anything.
Oh, wow.
This was like 5 months of my life, but his roommate was super sketchy. So I don't know what else is going on. I never heard about any kids. I never heard about another woman, but it is what it is. I learned my lesson.
Yeah, nah.
Never fuck with a jail nigga.
Listen, young ladies out there, whoever's watching this podcast, do not.
Nope.
If you're giving you those signs, walk away. Like, it's not worth it.
It doesn't matter how much fun you're having.
They gonna get out and go right back.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they are really changed men. But that's like, I'm not saying it's not possible.
That's a rare commodity.
But it's really rare. Like, I feel like if you got yourself in such a bad of a position to go to jail, you know, and I'm not saying something petty like running a light or being caught drunk in public. Like, that's just petty, you know. But real stuff like robbing people and stuff like, young ladies.
Learn. I mean,
Like,
don't learn. Learn from our situations.
Right, learn
from
and
what
listen.
we're telling you right now.
'Cause what the fuck? You don't want to be that girl.
Do not waste your time with one of them.
No.
Is that your only ghosting story?
An honest ghost, yeah. Like, honestly, like, everybody, the other people, they just kind of was like, just stop texting them. I think I'm definitely that person, though, that I wouldn't say I ghosted this person, but I'm definitely one who, when I don't like a situation or something makes me uncomfortable, I definitely just fall back. And my fallback game is like, it's like really scary because when I'm at that point of detachment, it's like you cannot access me, like, in no way. Like, you can't even try to charm me the way that you used to, or whatever. Like, so, I mean, the people that I cut off, they definitely feel it. They feel it.
I have two really good ones, and they kind of go hand in hand because it happened at, like, the exact same time. This is, like, when I was talking to multiple guys, but these were kind of, like, the top two contenders. They were both Geminis.
Oh, God.
I don't...
Oh, God.
I'm not going to say names because one of them recently was watching my story. I'm like, you don't even follow me, so why are you over here? And the other one still does. Like, we cool. There's no beef. But he ghosted me first. I'm going to say that. But, like, I was with this one on, like, Valentine's Day or whatever, and it was cool. And I was with this one on this day, blah, blah, blah. But, like, this one, I'm going to call him B. B ghosted me first, and I was really hurt because he was the one who was really, I was really going to pick him over the other one because I was like, the way he structured, I like that a little bit better. Right. Like, I could tell, what month is Gemini? I know they're both Geminis.
That's June, I think. June, yep.
The whole June, or like, because I feel like, because they were both Gemini, but they were a little bit different.
I think it's like the end of May, beginning of June, because my sister is a June Gemini.
Okay.
My cousins are June Geminis. So, yeah.
Okay. Then one of them was in May and one of them was in June, because these dudes, they were similar but different at the same time.
It's
like,
from May 21st to June 20th.
So, yeah, the end to the, okay.
But I really liked B. He had a lot of money. He would always, like, give me gas and stuff like that. He rubbed my feet. I was like, he's so sweet. But then he have these, like, little red moments where I'm like,
that's a Gemini. That's a Gemini.
What's going on, Stink? Yep. What's going on, Stink?
Yep. No, for real. Punching shit around you. Like, why are you punching? God damn.
Calm the fuck down. Then the other one, he was like, he'd have, like, his super clingy moments, and then he would just be, like, fucking weird.
Weird how? What will make it weird?
He had a lot of girly mannerisms. I don't really like that type of stuff in men. No. Personally, that's not my preference. I know that some people like stuff like that. But he would, like, point his toes and shit and just, like...
Point his toes? Like, what, at shit? Like, what do you mean?
No,
like, point his toes.
Like a ballerina type shit.
I'm like...
Wait, so you, like, you
we would
he's
just
walking
be, like,
around the
chilling.
house?
We would just be, like, chilling. He would just do some weird shit. And, like, I'm
like,
a weird...
stretch out and point his toes.
Stuff like that. Or, like...
God.
The way he would just, like, move and stretch was very just, like, feminine.
Okay.
But, and I know I'm a very weird person. I do weird shit, but I was just like, this is too much. The way you did your hand was, like, perfect. Like, for real. I was just like,
It was just random. He was just randomly do that shit.
Yeah. And then I just, like, stopped talking to him over, like, a period of time. And then he, like, texted me, oh, I miss you, blah, blah. I didn't say anything. I kind of felt bad, but I was just like, What do I say? I'm not gonna be like, yeah, you're kind of girly, so I don't like you.
Right? No, yeah. You can't move forward from that.
No, I was like,
no. Yeah, I'm not really into the feminine guys. Like, I don't really like that.
Like, I need somebody who's gonna like tell me to sit the fuck down.
Right?
I'm acting up. Like,
tell me to shut the fuck up.
Don't yell at me though. Say it in a very nice, polite way.
Like, no, sometimes we need it though.
No, like me, I'm such a crybaby. I'm like, if you yell at me, I'm done. I'm checked out of the conversation. I don't fuck with you anymore.
Oh my gosh. Well, I need it because I go on and on and on, and I'm just like, okay, DaVinci or Vinci, whatever y'all want to call me. Shut the fuck up, Vinci. But I just can't. Like, the other side is like so powerful, and I'm like, okay, say something, because if you don't say something, I'm gonna keep going on and on and on. So I need it. I've been needing to sit down because I'm a little extra.
Facts. It's cool. I enjoy it though.
So, something else I want to talk about real quick. So Summer Walker's I can't even talk. Summer Walker's dropping her new album. 11 is it 11/5? I think she released her song "That Bitch Your Ex." That bitch is your ex for a reason. Why is that bitch your ex for a reason? Your ex is. Am I saying that right? Does it?
Wait, you said. Why is that bitch your ex for a reason?
Yeah, that bitch is your ex for a reason. I want to know you guys' reason.
Okay. So, like, why I'm somebody's ex?
No, why? Well, yeah, you guys both broke up.
Well,
so
yeah. Like, okay, wait, on what point of view? Like, on his point of view?
Your point of view.
Like, why?
Why is he your ex?
It's called X for a reason.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, wait, so let me understand this. From my problem or his problem?
It could be both.
It could be both.
Okay.
It could be both.
All right, so, excuse me. Let me see. I think I got exes because one of my toxic traits is, how do I say this? It's like, I be like living in a fairyland when I get into it. Like, well, when I used to get into relationships, like I would be in a fairyland. So I'd be thinking everything is so utopia and so perfect. And I want it to look a certain way, be a certain way, smell a certain way, but don't realize that is just not going to happen. So I think, yeah, that's probably why I couldn't work with most of these niggas, because I just be like, I feel like I just be doing too much, giving too much. And yeah, they can't handle it. So
no, literally, like I feel you on that. I like, if I like someone and we're in a relationship, part of me steps into that wifey role, but I have to tell myself, you have not paid for that package yet.
Right.
You have not paid for the premium, so I can't give you the premium package. You don't have the you have the what's before premium. You have the regular package.
The regular.
Free trial, more so, if anything.
Yeah, it is a damn.
That's like a free trial.
I'm saying free trial.
It's not free.
Well, not free. Yeah,
maybe it's like normal or
the regular trial.
Regular.
You downloaded the app.
Standard trial.
So you downloaded the app and you have to pay for the extra packages on the side.
Right. Yeah.
The premium package.
Now the premium comes with a lot, so really think about what you want. Oh my god.
That's my thing though. I be trying to fall in love. I gotta work on that.
No, I feel it.
What about Shay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
He is my ex because he did too much. He thought I'm not gonna say he thought, because I was the weak one, and he preyed on my weakness of me not being secure in myself, not loving myself, and he knew that, so he used that to his advantage. Controlled me as a person, and then when I was fed up and I really thought about that shit, and I was just like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. I know my worth. Dip the fuck out. You're my ex because you fucking suck.
Right.
Fuck you.
I feel like she my ex because she wanted something that I couldn't be at that time in my life. I feel like, I was in the process of establishing myself, if that makes sense. I wasn't fully there yet. And I thought she had things going for her too, but she wanted somebody, I guess, on the tip of. She needed a grown ass man, like somebody that had a house, was in a couple of months thinking of marriage type shit, and I wasn't even in that. I didn't even have a lot of stuff going for me yet. I was establishing those things that I needed to do as a young man. So I mean, I don't know if she has no contact for me, but I bet she'd probably be sick now if she saw how I was living. But
and who your bitch was.
Exactly.
Yeah. The fuck. I mean, just life completely went 180 for sure. And I remember, thinking like at that time, like, okay, I wanted a serious relationship again. But it's just funny because it's like you think that one thing is gonna go one way, but God completely 180 situation. It's like, oh, now I'm back with someone that I actually wanted to be with for the rest of my life. So it's like, I don't know, it's cool.
That's good. It's good when you find that person, because right now the guy I'm with, I definitely feel like this is my person. Like, I know it because it has God in it. God is involved in this relationship. And before I felt like it was, I felt like, the man before I prayed for him. But that man was my lesson. I prayed and God was like, you know what? Before I give you the man that you deserve, I'm going to teach you what you don't deserve. And I need you to learn this lesson first before you step into that right man who is also on the same path as you. Right. So I was like, boom, that's the biggest difference in what I've noticed. I'm like, I feel like God has a bigger discernment over my life now. Yeah. So I'm able to see, I don't want to say, what's the word? I'm able to see what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing it, and I'm following the path now. Yep.
I feel you. That is so crazy. Like, I really do, because I definitely am connected as well. Like, relationship with him actually is what's teaching me what I need to know now. I didn't know I had to have a relationship with God. I didn't think that was important, but now I'm like, I need a fucking relationship. Yeah. Because, like, no, for real. Like, not even to cuss, but that's just me being real. Like, you need that relationship because everything in your life is shaped from that relationship. Mm-hmm. The good, the bad, the lessons, the challenges, the abundance, everything is shaped from that. And I feel like when you have someone who sees that like you, even if y'all don't understand it all the way, that's okay.
Y'all still learning.
We grow. But I feel like if you're able to have that person that, got you, that's your person. Like, I wouldn't look no further. Mm-hmm. Like, unless a sign came up where you like, okay, red flag. Mm-hmm. But, that's your person.
Exactly. So. Even in those little things that, like, irritate you about them, you just feel like, you know what, that's a part of them, so I love them for it. Right. Like, you're able to compromise, like, and you're very understanding because you do love that person. So it's like, you know what, we're going to grow together, we're going to do this. Yeah.
Compromise and consistency. I've noticed it's kind of like the two main things that I want to work on, and I say it's a big part of a relationship. Being able to compromise with that person that you're with, because not everything's going to go your way. Mm-hmm. Not everything's going to go their way. So you have to be able to come to some middle ground between each other so y'all can understand, okay, hey, this is how a relationship about to work. It's 50-50. So that, and then being consistent. I was just talking to D about this yesterday, as far as certain things that I want to be consistent in, as far as me and in the relationship. So I said, Sunday dinners is a thing.
That's beautiful.
Praying every morning, every night before we go to sleep is another thing. Just little things that, going to the gym, just little things that we said, okay, just to help us better ourselves and better each other. Because that's one of the things, when it comes to being an adult, you have to be consistent in certain things or certain things that you're going through in life. So just having those things or certain things that you're doing that's a consistent thing that will help you later on in the future, basically.
Yes. So 100%. And I feel like another part of that is, like, the person I'm with makes me, like, not want to be a hoe. And I know that sounds terrible.
No, yeah, that's
but
good.
Like, this person, like, I want to be loyal to him. I'm not saying I couldn't be loyal before, but I'm saying, like, other people always made me have those thoughts of, like, what else is out there? What else can I find? But I'm like, no, I have it. I'm good. good. He putting it down. I'm picking it up.
Right. Okay. Oh.
It's working. It's working. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
But it's all about finding that right person.
Yeah. That's big. I feel you on that. Like, I'm not really a cheater or anything, but you definitely, if you're not with your person or with somebody that you actually fuck with, I feel like you're definitely going to wonder. You're going to, like, you may not lay down with somebody, but you're definitely going to hit that nigga back in the DM and be like, well, I mean, you can come up here,
over.
meet me here, because he going to be at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many things, but, like, I don't know, when you find, or when love find you, really, when love find you, I feel like everything, your whole world, just everything changes. Like, you glow better, you know, your skin so much clearer, everything. You can work better, you know. You can be a better daughter, be a better friend, you know, just knowing you have that security and that's your peace. You know, I'm big on that right now. Like, with Jay, I keep telling him, like, we have to, no matter what we go through, let's try to get back to being each other's peace. Because if I'm going to work and I'm working hard and I'm stressed out at work, when I come home, I need you to be like,
right.
Literally. I don't need you to be like, what are we doing? And you know what I'm saying? I don't need all that. So not right now in my life. So that's good.
No, I get that. Like, JP, he's my peace. Like, when I go over to his place, it's just like, he's so calm, cool, and collected. It's like, he's like rubbing me, like making me feel all good and stuff like that. And it's like, he's bringing me like that comfort that I need to relax and like take the ease off. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm thinking about him in that moment. And, you know, like, what are we about to do?
I love that.
No, literally.
I do.
All right. That's it for this podcast. Thank you for coming on again, Vinci. I will definitely you're gonna be a character on this podcast, because like the conversations we have, it's always amazing. It's always a good time connecting and talking, and we have that couple aspect because I don't know if you guys have picked up on it. Producer Jay and Vinci are together, so we have an aspect. If we have like couple questions and stuff like that, like we could ask you guys some questions about that. So thanks for tuning in. This was episode 5, Lovely Misguided, and peace.